Typically, Finnish decision makers are blaming local governments and saying that we have too small local governments. If we have fewer of them, then everything is fine. This is not right. The real reason is that government and national institutions have not been able to create such kind of architecture that patient record system could and should work. And now we have invested heavily in that system, but we cannot use it efficiently because of lack of integration. In banking sector, it works. I can raise money wherever. I rely on that system. But my health information is not achievable here. For example, here in Poland. And nobody is able to explain that. Same technologies, same solutions. The only difference is that in the financial sector or banking sector, we have infrastructure, we have architecture. That is the link missing in electronic patient record system or healthcare sector. This is a good example. What does it mean when we speak about ecosystem? If that ecosystem exists, then every single entity is able to operate in a way which is going to create added value in that sector. So we can combine both top-down and bottom-up approaches. Mr. Chairman, I do have 3-4 minutes left, and I will spend these 3-4 minutes to explain where these growth opportunities actually now are, where the drivers for future growth could be. You remember Sputnik or Sputniks. Russians or Soviets sent them, and we looked at, I was born in 54, and in the age of 3-4 we were looking at these satellites in the sky. We were not that impressed, but Americans were, because first time, at least almost in 100 years, Americans understood that we are challenged. It's not clear that America is going to be leading nation in the world technologically, scientifically anymore. And it was frustrating in America. But what America did, it was a wake-up call for Americans. They started to invest heavily in education, research and development technologies, created their own space program, very ambitious space program. America really changed its behavior because of Sputniks. What is the Sputnik of today? We need exactly the same kind of Sputniks, but global Sputniks or European wake-up calls. And I can see 3 areas where we can operate. The first, I will only mention them. First one is productivity. There is huge opportunity to increase productivity by using most modern technologies. I have my mobile phone there on the table, Nokia phone, by the way, not surprising. When I bought first one, 1990, can you imagine what was the price of that phone in US dollars? Yes? 3,000. And if you want to have the same capacity today, you don't have to pay anything because no one is anymore providing that kind of pure capacity. Lowest low-end phone has higher capacity than that phone I paid 3,000 US dollars. And I was one of 8 million people in the world, one of those 8 million privileged to have that kind of luxury good. 1990, 8 million. Year 2000, 700 million. 700 million instead of 8 million. And today, roughly 4.2 billion. That is a revolution. That is something which has never happened before in the world. But this is only the beginning. Like Americans are saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I really believe that you ain't seen nothing yet as far as information technology and mobile solutions are concerned. Now we are starting to understand how to use them. And when billions of people are starting to use them in the most efficient way, that is going to create even more important, even more radical revolution in the future. And you can use them for productivity purposes. Increased productivity is the best guarantee for sustainable growth, especially in Europe. Because of the aging of population, productivity growth is urgently needed here in Europe. That is a message for the next European Commission. All efforts have to be done so that we can increase productivity in Europe, or otherwise our social systems cannot sustain. Very simple rule. And there is no court you can go and ask that, why don't we have our rights and our responsibilities? Because if we are not efficient, if we are not productive, no court is able to assist us to get a high standard of living and good social services. Secondly, sustainability. Green future is there. We know exactly how to do that. We have to put the money, resources, and the intellectual capacity to those sectors. It's really a Sputnik of today, for the global community, but especially for Europeans. And finally, knowledge creation, the third driver of future driver of growth, not only in Europe, but even more globally. Billions of young people who have now, first time in the history of mankind, they have access to education, thanks to those new technological tools. But even in our societies, schools can be reformed. I told yesterday that when I went to school in 1961, the educational environment or school infrastructure was roughly the same as it was when my youngest child went to school 2003. The same blackboard, same kind of teachers, same kind of setting in the classroom. And learning environment was superior at schools in 1961. No single home in Finland was able to provide better learning environment than schools. But to be honest, today we have tens of thousands homes in Finland which do have better learning environment than our schools, thanks to all technological tools which are not able to be used at schools. There is great opportunity for reforms and improvements, which is necessary not only in developing countries, but in developed world as well. So, these are three easily recognizable drivers for growth. We have to take them. But not only giving declarations that this is what we are going to do, but to start delivering, to start execute our programs. And I believe that in this way Europe has good opportunity to become that kind of most competitive region in the world we promised. But the key word is today efficient, concerted execution. And I hope that the institutional reforms Europe has been doing and is just now doing, it is going to help us. But they are only assisting us. Crucial thing is to concentrate to the right things, to have right content, and to do it now. Because 5-10 years from now, it's too late. Europe has lost its opportunity, golden opportunity. Thank you.